Good afternoon, people. I hope everyone's having a good day, especially all you mums out there. Hope you're having a good one. So I was going to speak about. I've done this before. Near-death experiences. So I spoke about the lift that I was in when the lift cable snapped and we dropped. I spoke about the paint thinner can in my mate's garage when it caught on fire. 3 litres of paint thinner nearly exploded next to me and my mate Ollie Bates. And Robert Church threw the paint thinner can and basically saved our lives. So now I'm going to talk about my food poisoning. So we're going back to around 2003, 2004. Yeah, 2003. It was 2003, right? So I was scaffolding at the time for a guy called Clive Venturis, and sometimes with scaffolding you can be at work all day, sometimes you could just do half a day. So we'd done half a day, and Clive always used to take us, the workers, out for like a drink at the end of the day. So we've gone for a couple of beers, got a little bit lean, and then we've gone to the Chinese. It was called what was it called? Noodle Nation or Noodle Bar, something like that. And we went to this. So we went to the Chinese and we ordered a ton of Chinese. And we didn't eat it all, so we got to take most of it home. So I lived on Amersham Hill at the time. Amersham Hill is a completely different story, but so I went to Amersham. Took it back to Amersham Hill, put it straight in the fridge, and then went back out on the lash. Obviously, so I'm on the lash from about 2 o'clock in the afternoon all the way to about 11 o'clock at night, midnight. I got home absolutely steaming. Remembered I had all this Chinese, and I had everything: pork, beef, chicken, rice, noodles, prawns. Everything was in these containers. So I lived with a guy called Dave. I think his nickname was Psycho Dave. I can't remember. Anyway, so I've got the wok out, put everything into the wok, and I started cooking it. I thought I'd cooked it for half an hour. Probably cooked it for about 10 minutes because I was lashed, yeah. So I've given Dave a small bowl of this Chinese with hardly any meat in, and I've had a massive bowl with everything in it because I'm a greedy bugger. Anyway, so we've eaten this Chinese and went to bed. Woke up in the morning, went to go scaffolding. Got to the site. There was a portaloo outside. I remember I started scaffolding. My stomach's gurgling like mad. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I need the toilet. I was then on this portaloo and I couldn't get off. It was just literally it was flying out of me basically. Sorry for the information, but it's what happened. I went back home and then I started being really sick. Now, I was in my room for around 3.5 weeks before I went to hospital. The reason I went to hospital was because I was passing blood in my stool, in my poo. Basically, I was pooing out blood. And obviously that's when I was like, and I hadn't eaten or drank nothing for 3.5 weeks as well. So we went to hospital. Now, when you press the back of your hand, the back of your hand will turn yellow where you've pressed it, but then it will go back to the reddy pinkish colour after a while. When the doctor pressed the back of my hand, it stayed yellow and it didn't go back to it. That means you are incredibly dehydrated. The guy said I was basically like a crisp inside because I had nothing inside me. And the reason I was passing blood was because the bacteria had started to eat through my stomach. The doctor said how I was still alive was a miracle. I had 4 types of food poisoning in one go. So I had E. coli, Salmonella, gastric enteritis, and I can't remember the last one. It does my head in. It began with a D, but apparently you can only get it off fish or something like that. I seem to remember. So I was in hospital for roughly around a month. I had to have my own room because I was contagious. Because I think Salmonella you can actually pass that on, and maybe E. coli as well. So when I was scaffolding, I was around 12 stone. obviously lifting up them poles every day, climbing up ladders, you know, carrying heavy stuff all the time, build yourself up. When I come out of hospital, I weighed around 7 stone. I remember I walked to the shops. Now, where my parents live, the shops are about, 4 minutes away from walking from this house. It took me half an hour to get to the shops. I had to stop every 10 steps and sit down on someone's brick wall. When I got to the shop, there was a young chap. He's not young anymore. In fact, one of the reasons why I'm doing this story is because I see him the other day. I bumped into him. He's called James Nash. He was only a kid at the time. He saw me. And he come up to me and he said, "Excuse me, John." He says, "Are you dying of cancer?" Because I looked that bad. I literally, yes. So there you go. That's my story on the food poisoning. The other bit of the food poisoning was while I was laying in bed, I had the TV on, and then I'd see an advert for Burger King, and I'd suddenly be really hungry. But if someone walked in my room with a plate of food, I would be throwing my guts up. I couldn't stand the smell of food. I couldn't walk. I had to crawl to the toilet. The colours that were coming out my backside, it looked like a artist paint box had exploded. It was green, yellow, red. You know, it was crazy. It was crazy, like literally. And like I said, how I survived that is beyond me. I've nearly been wiped out of this earth 4 or 5 times now, and I'm here for some reason. I don't know what it is, but you know. But anyway, there's a little podcast about my experience with food poisoning and how I survived it. It took me a long time to put my weight back on. In fact, I still can't actually put much weight on. I struggle with weight. It comes off me easily through stress, through, you know, general things like not eating enough in the day, which is like for anyone. But some people can just look at food and put weight on. Me, complete opposite. But yeah, anyway, so that's the podcast on food poisoning. I will do another one later on, actually. I've got quite a lot of stories to tell. I'm going to do one on Amersham Hill, when I lived there. The crazy times of Amersham Hill. Anyway, big up everyone. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers. In fact, I did a little podcast earlier on saying about Happy Mother's Day. I just got to say this. Anyone out there who's lost their mum, yeah, like, God bless you. I know this day must be tough for you. Just, you know, just keep making your mum proud. Yeah, everything's gonna be all right. Anyway, peace, love. Speak to all you guys soon, yeah.